without all of their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come.
Hello there, everybody. Hello. How are we all? We're doing Normal Island. That's why you can't see me yet, but you will be able to see me shortly. We're going to drop straight in on the room and that. Yeah. 1 second. 1 second, everybody. Apologies. Yes. Where are we? Yes. Right. Yeah. Don't forget, you can give me money in the form of bits and subs and streams and all that bollocks, right? If you wanted to. Why you would want to do this, I don't know, but you can. It is an option available to you. Rocking the Mamdani shirt tonight, which is all good. I think that just joined the broadcast, I guess.
Kids stop interacting with each other.
Get on
the internet.
Hello.
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 Oh my god,
Kevin, I've got a nickname for you.
I can hear the
echo.
It's Curtis.
Yeah, sorry, let me just turn it off.
Okay.
Oh god, do I really sound like that? That's appalling. Go on,
No,
sorry.
you sound fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you
Horrendous.
until the show.
Oh, okay, so it's offensive then, I imagine.
No.
Are you gonna verbally abuse me?
No, I'm not you.
Oh, that's true. No, I do verbally abuse me. That is true. Anyway, how are we? But are we okay?
Yes, good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah. No, I'm alive, and that's all that needs to happen for a good time.
I guess.
I hear it on so many levels.
Yeah.
You know, I just. Yeah. Same.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Good chat.
Yeah.
Good fucking chat.
I like the new branding, by the way.
Oh,
Do
do
you
you?
actually?
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
People said it looks like Top Gear.
It does look a bit Top Gear, but to be fair, of all the things that Top Gear is, it's well branded.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine Top Gear's branding, but without the right wing shit
Yeah, trust me.
and punching employees.
With the
you know?
rebrand, right, we've also brought the right wing stuff.
Oh, nice.
You're looking forward to that. Just to get you in scenes. I'm not producing like Callum is. He'll be in a sec.
Fair enough. By the way, they can't hear me now. Sorry to
Mute
hear.
yourself now.
Sorry to hear that, Carl. By the way.
I just
Good
need
to
to grab
see
the
you.
script.
I'll address you later, but my love to you. Remember the good times. Yeah.
Can you hear me all right?
Does Kevin
did
know
I-
that he's
I put
muted
the
himself,
thumbs
or
up.
is he just speaking to his own audience?
Sorry, I was addressing someone in my audience in a way that
Oh,
it wasn't
no,
like
there
there wasn't a secret or
Have they
anything. It
said
was
hello
just
to me,
a thing that
Kevin?
you couldn't see. Yeah. Have they said hello? I mean, they will now because they're like really easily led, pathetic
But
little
also because
sheep.
I've now been a massive pick me. Like, hey, what
Just
about
let me know
you?
that
Sorry to be so last minute. Are we good to rock and roll? Shall I get the countdown on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
before you quickly mention something to you. There is a second host scene which I've copied at the bottom. You can basically just ignore that. It just means that we have a nice transition from the countdown into the host.
Transition.
Because if I add a transition to the host scene, it means it transitions every single time you change the camera, which is stupid. So we only want the transition coming off the countdown. So basically,
Does that mean it'll go to the host copy first then?
auto switches the host copy, but I've duplicated everything, so all the videos and graphics are on there. But obviously, as soon as you change the camera to like split, don't go to the copy, just go back to the normal host as normal. So you basically just kind of ignore it.
And actually, yeah, I'll be going back to split and host before I use any graphics.
Sometimes
Yeah.
maybe good,
But
sometimes
if
maybe
you
shit.
didn't, they are there.
Go and have your night off, Curtis. I'll see you later.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Go on.
I just want to say, Curtis,
Thanks for everything. Appreciate you both.
When you're hosting, I wouldn't mind splitting the host. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Ooh.
Actually, no, ignore me. It's my volume. Ignore me.
Oh. Good to have you, Callum. I've missed ya.
And you. Although there is a slight.
Okay,
this
you'll-
is that
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
your end, Sarah.
What is it?
Just like white noise in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay, yeah. Okay.
That's the issue.
The countdown on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort it now.
Right. Have a
Brilliant,
great
all right.
show. See ya.
See you later. Oh, it's on. Thanks for that. Okay, it's did it for me. Hi, Kev. By the way, hope you're well.
I'm very well, Callum. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. Apologies and apologies to all your viewers. I had to work.
Callum,
So
it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
this
fine.
is why people need to support Turn Left, because when we can do this full time, I won't need to stay late in work, and we can be up on time.
Literally.
I'm not gonna lie. I've not looked at the script, so just bear with me. We've got graphic 0. Is that right? Oh, yeah, okay. Can you believe Sarah Cox is moving from tea time to breakfast on Radio 2?
Is that the most boring small talk I've ever heard?
I don't listen to Radio 2.
I don't know.
You're too young, to be fair, Sarah.
I'm not. We're the same age, Callum.
No, we're not.
Pretty much.
You're definitely younger than me.
Oh, this youth. And this Botox. Aha! Right, anyway, let me chill.
Not for me. I get my cheeks through stress and. Not
You've got
eating
really good
properly.
cheeks.
Yeah, through stress and not eating properly.
Cheekbones.
I stay youthful through adrenochrome.
What's that?
Oh, someone does not keep up with their American conspiracy theories. Good lord. Yeah, no, this was the Pizzagate thing where they said they were cracking open baby skulls to get adrenochrome out.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, fair. I mean, not fair, but.
And the really funny thing is, it's not a drug that would make you feel good if you took it, and B, you can make it without cracking open baby skulls. You can just do it in a lab. And it was made up anyway because no one does that.
Cracking open baby skulls.
It's not, to be fair. Yeah, like
obviously I jest.
if you're going to be an alien space lizard in a human suit running the planet, you're going to crack a few baby skulls, obviously.
And on that, we're up in 5 seconds.
Oh. Hello, welcome to Normal Island Live. Sorry for the delay. As you know, we do all of this around our full-time jobs, so we had to have a late start today. But as you know, I'm Sarah Delau, and it's a Wednesday, and I'm joined. I said I've got a nickname for Kevin by Kalo.
Oh yes, love it. Thank you very much. I feel very special.
Yeah, you're welcome. Like J-Lo, but it's
But
Kalo.
Kayla, I see what you've done there. It's very good.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
And happy Mussolini Upside Down Day to everyone who celebrates.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a niche day. Thanks for that, Kalo. I'm being so awkward. I'm being so awkward. Right, anyway, I am really, really happy to be here. As you guys know, also, I did the marathon on the weekend, so just a quick one about the updates, so lots of questions today. I got it done, and that's all that matters, and it was for the children, for the Children's Society. You can go check out the video on their YouTube. It's there, and I think also on their TikTok.
Did you also break the 2-hour barrier?
We did. I also break the 2-hour barrier. Kayla just asked. So technically, I did because we all got the same medal, didn't we? So when people didn't see me, they didn't see me because I zoomed past them so quickly. The 2-minute 30 whatever per kilometre.
Yeah, it's fine. So, easy. Yeah.
Easy peasy. But yeah, anyways, that's done. My muscles are still sore. I think my toes are fine because, they're all right. Anyway, blah, blah, blah.
Top of Mount Everest and back though.
Yeah, thanks, Callum. Just whispered something in the earpiece. But yeah, anyways, coming up on tonight's show, John Terry gives his 2 pence of recent Rupert Lowe post. But also, Rupert Lowe just got called out in Parliament too. Former Greens deputy calls the party monstrous, and Farage reported to Parliament Standards Watchdog over undeclared £5 million donation. You can help us grow by visiting turnleftmedia.co.uk/support to help fund our work, or by becoming a YouTube member for just 99p. But on to our first story. And it feels like every time I do a show, the ghost of Lowe follows me. So before we even get to his latest parliamentary motion to ban foreigners from claiming benefits and entering the country, it's worth pausing on the man presenting himself as a moral authority on who belongs in Britain, who contributes and who deserves support in British society, because credibility matters, doesn't it? Let's have a look at this.
Primarily on King Street, feel intimidated, harassed and abused in their own town centres. Disproportionately, this unacceptable behaviour is committed by young foreign men imported from cultures and religions that treat women like dirt on the bottom of their shoe. Will the Minister today commit to a national audit of street harassment, intimidation and sexual offending by nationality and immigration status, so the British people can finally see the scale of the problem?
Sarah Sturt.
Here we go again, Mr. Speaker. I note that an investigation by a KC into the honourable member's conduct concluded that there was credible evidence that he had mistreated 2 female members in a way that, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, in a way that seemed to amount to harassment. I don't want to hear anything from him about violence against women and girls or harassment.
What a joke. What an embarrassment. I mean, people are seeing right through this guy. I'm going to react to that in a second, but this is what Manic Keith Preachers Casey said in response. He said, state of him, couldn't even behave himself in a party of 4 MPs. No wonder the Tories wouldn't touch him with a barge pole after months of secret meetings to join them. They added he was meeting Jenrick shortly after he got booted from Reform. He also admitted in an interview last week that his new party has an agreement with the Tories. And finally, they tweeted this video.
As a result of which we've got a lot of One Nation Tories, not true Tories. I would be a true Tory if I was anything, not a One Nation Tory. I promised not to call them Lib Dem Tories as part of my agreement, but so we won't call them that.
So does Restore have a pact with the Tories? Is this all to undermine Reform? And Lowe is completely full of it, possibly. Just going back to that first video, I think you guys know that I get very, very passionate when it comes to speaking about VOG, violence against women and girls. We'll talk about the Tory Restore Pact, but this is the man who has spent months presenting himself as the defender of British values, right? Law and order and public decency, whilst an independent investigation led by Jacqueline Perry KC found there was, quote unquote, credible evidence that 2 female members of staff in his offices had suffered bullying discriminatory behaviour and conduct amounting to harassment under his watch. And, you know, the report is coming out and it's concluding that Lowe had either failed or had been unwilling to address serious concerns raised by those women, and that the office culture he presided over had become toxic. This is actually so insane because Rupert Lowe has made his whole brand, he's centered it all around this moral discipline, all around morality, the fact that these foreign men are coming in here and they're touching our women and girls and they're making our streets unsafe, and everyone's following him. Well, not everyone, but the blind idiots are following him, being like, yeah, it is the foreigners coming in here and they're the ones that are impacting our women and girls. But actually, sorry, the dangers facing British women and girls are actually, like I always say, not the boogeyman in the alley after 10 o'clock. It genuinely just comes from people that you know. There is something grotesquely hypocritical about a man invoking the protection of women in his rhetoric whilst facing credible findings that women working under him experience victimisation and harassment. That is a major contradiction, because if you can't even create a safe workplace for two women in your own parliamentary operation, your sudden concern for women's safety in wider society begins to look so much less like an actual principle. You're just a fucking actor. There are moments in politics as well, just moving on to a different story that I want to add on to this, when celebrity intervention tells you something far bigger than the celebrities themselves. And this is one of them. John Terry, the wet wipe that he is, by the way, made his voice very known. In a post on Instagram, Lowe said, "We should ban foreigners from claiming benefits, remove migrants who are incapable of financially supporting themselves, use those many saved billions to slash tax for the British men and women, keeping the economy running. Restore Britain would do exactly that and put our own people first." And John Terry responds with, 100% yes. John Terry, you were never relevant, ever. You played for Chelsea. Like, make it make sense. No, I'm not trying to slander Chelsea, but I'll slander John Terry, and Chelsea just comes with the package. But why is he trying to posit himself as some great political theorist, the man of few words, few brain cells, it seems, and also a long Chelsea football player that doesn't require much analysis to it? Look at where they're at on the table. I'm not going to focus on Terry because he's out of touch of reality and out of touch of ordinary people, because he spent more of his life being a millionaire. Him, you know, John Terry saying 100% yes is depressingly on brand. And I think it takes real political skills to look at Britain's housing crisis, stagnant wages, collapse in public services and deepening inequality and conclude that the problem is the person with less power than you, rather than the people vastly more. It's just lazy. But classic Rupert Lowe, angry man online, making it seem as though migrants are the problem that Britain is falling in the way that it is. We know for a fact that most working age migrants are net contributors to the economy because they pay tax, they fill labour shortage and contribute to growth, whilst often drawing less from age-related public spending than the quote-unquote native-born population. The idea that banning what he likes to call foreigners from claiming benefits would unlock many saved billions is not... it's surface level. It's surface level. And the second problem is just around like the legalities of it, because a huge number of migrants already have restricted access to public funds under the UK's no recourse to public funds. So I really don't understand where he's plucking this out of. Many migrants cannot simply access benefits in the way Rupert Lowe implies. So he's presenting a problem as though it's wide open, when in reality the system is already heavily restrictive for them. But also, like, who actually counts as a foreigner? I don't understand this. Is it someone who's worked here for 10 years? Is it someone who is on indefinite leave to remain? Is it someone with British children? Someone paying tax every month? Like, these wishy-washy slogans and these wishy-washy words that people like Lowe use are so deliberately vague because the detail would expose the cruelty of who he is as a person. He's a cruel, cruel individual. Anyway, Kevin. Firstly, can we unpack why Rupert Lowe is always on this moral high ground about wanting to protect women and girls when he, in a party of four, was incapable of protecting women and girls because he was the one that was making them feel unsafe?
It's because he's a racist. Simple as that. It literally is. He's just a racist, and this is a thing he's using. In the same way that the West will hypocritically use the plight of women and girls in places like Iran in order to try and justify their bombing of Iran, even though treatment of women and girls is terrible in various parts of the world, including the West, just in slightly different forms. The racist will use immigration as a way of trying to drive a wedge between the kind of pre-existing population and those people who are incoming. He fundamentally doesn't want to see brown people in the country. That's his ultimate problem. He's okay, by the way, with rich brown people being in the country because he's, again, both a racist and pro-rich people. That's basically his whole dynamic, and so that's why he does the things that he does. And it's no surprise, by the way, that given that Rupert Lowe and his entire political project is just about racism and rich people, that it should attract someone like John Terry. Honestly, I don't know what's more embarrassing, John Terry being a supporter of Rupert Lowe or him slipping on his arse and missing that penalty in the Champions League final. I don't know. It could be either one of those things. But a man like John Terry, who lost a civil case for having racially abused Anton Ferdinand, lest we forget, and of course cheated on the mother of his children with the girlfriend of an ex-teammate, naturally, lovely man who definitely cares and respects for women, and of course was a man who was happy to suckle on the financial teat of Roman Abramovich when he was owner of the Chelsea Football Club, until it was taken from him. By the way, another example of how we can actually just nationalise things when the government really wants them to happen. Because technically it was a nationalised industry for a very brief period of time when we took it from Roman Abramovich's ownership. Anyway, yes, the point being that he was happy to take money from Roman Abramovich, a man with direct links to Vladimir Putin, and indeed was the governor of, I think, Siberia, or one of the places in one of the regions in Russia, brutally imposing his undemocratic rule on that administrative area. And he was happy to take that money from him. He was happy to take millions of pounds in wages from that man. A man who, by the way, has himself been credibly accused of sexual assault. But that's a different matter. Heaven forbid I be sued by a warmongering genocidal freak. Anyway, it's no surprise that is the kind of person that Rupert Lowe is bringing to his side, because that's ultimately his exact demographic. Someone who doesn't really care about women and girls, only cares about the rich, and doesn't particularly like people of colour.
You're so right, and we're seeing this trend, this common trend at the moment. It happened with John Ratcliffe. You know, people call him Sir John Ratcliffe, but I don't think I really hate this Sir bullshit with like certain people, and he's one of them. And then like a lot of people respond to the likes of John Terry and John Ratcliffe. Why are they're both called John? Why did firstly, why is it that people respond to the likes of those individuals and say, yeah, but he's saying what's on everyone's mind. He's saying what the people can't say. Yeah, they're brave. Like, brave about what? These people have never been in touch with reality. So why is it that we've got people blindly falling into that trap?
Well, the real reason that, of course, they have to say he's saying what everyone else is thinking is because nobody else is saying it. Because they're not actually thinking it. The silent majority is silent because it's non-existent. They have to invoke it in order to try and claim a legitimacy in terms of public opinion that doesn't really exist.
Jim Ratcliffe, not John Ratcliffe. Long day.
It's okay. He's a terrible, awful person. It's fine to... it's not even dead naming. Fake naming? Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, fuck him. Who cares? Like, and also he's associated with Man United. Like, just shit teams all around. Anyway, I want to get on to the second story. So I think the second story is probably going to be spoken about extensively. Thank you so much, Kaylo. So, former Green Deputy Leader Shahara Ali has described the Green Party as monstrous in a recent article on Spiked. What was that? He puts out this massive rant online, written by him, by the way, basically about what he feels is an authoritarian party that, in his eyes, unjustifiably, he was removed from his role. He states... It took the groupthink authoritarians almost another year to have me removed in 2022. They said I had, quote unquote, championed a highly controversial position on trans rights that was allegedly incompatible with acting as a spokesperson. I encountered that my sensible positions on keeping rapists out of the female prison estate and prohibiting rogue online clinics from dispensing puberty blockers to kids were not just compatible with party policy, but required by it too. As a spokesperson for justice, I was also duty-bound to articulate these positions. He then goes on talking about how he took the party to court for unlawful, gender critical discrimination that he won in 2024, but describes it as extraordinarily stressful. He even says that he was prepared to risk all in the pursuit of justice, including bankruptcy and destitution. Anyway, he continues. To this day, you will find Green Party leader Zach Polanski and MP Ellie Chown spreading disinformation about my court victory. They absurdly claim that the judgment showed that political parties have a right to remove spokespeople. The judge could not have been more clear. Dr. Ali also seeks a declaration that he has been subjected to unlawful discrimination. I grant the declaration sought, although it does not obviate the need for damages. I'm not through with the unhinged Green Party yet, but that's because I care about politics. It is now facing a second court case from me later this year on substantially the same grounds of unlawful discrimination, including victimisation, the safeguarding of women and girls, single-sex services, protections and opportunities, alongside the protection of children from the unconscionable harms of rogue, quote-unquote, gender-affirming medical malpractice, are hills worth dying on. I also regard it as my duty to expose the monster that the party has become. The almost daily revelations about the anti-Semitic bile, whether historic or recent, perpetrated by a slew of its local election candidates are testament to how far the Greens have fallen. The hypocrisy of the leadership is seeking to stop a Zionism is racism motion from being voted on at conference, when they have fed and facilitated hardline Islamic entryism, is evidence of its further hard left totalitarian rot. Long one, I'm sorry guys, but then he concludes by saying this. The Green Party has always talked about doing politics differently. That once was the case in a good way, but now it's become so in a bad way. A political party that acts as an authoritarian law unto itself and that is seeking to govern the UK is a menace to society. I don't know, Ali. Tell me you're bitter without telling me you're bitter. It's just giving bitter. Ali's argument is essentially that the Green Party has become intolerant, authoritarian, and hostile to internal dissent. But why is the attack happening at the moment? The Green Party is becoming a serious party, so it just feels like it's all happening at a convenient time. There is a level of irony calling the Green Party monstrous, but you really have to look at what he's saying here, because I would regard what Ali's saying as monstrous. A transphobe. He's trying to frame himself as a victim of ideological persecution, but calling the boxer Iman Khalifa him, which he does in the article, who are the actual victims here? Like, truly. Ali's central claim is that he was unlawfully discriminated against by the Green Party because of his gender-critical beliefs. And it's true that in 2024, the court ruled that the Green Party had acted in a procedurally unfair way when removing him as a spokesperson. But that much is factually correct. But Ali's article relies on a slate of, hand, because he presents that procedural ruling as though it vindicates the political substance of his position. But it doesn't. The court found procedural unfairness. It did not declare that his politics was correct. The way he's skewing it is really quite cruel. It's fucking awful. It's not aligned with the values of the Green Party. In fact, the court explicitly upheld the right of political parties to remove spokespeople whose public positions conflict with party policy, provided they do so fairly. And I think that's the crucial distinction Ali repeatedly blurs, because blurring it seems useful to him without making him seem innocent. And I think that blurring tells you something very, very paramount about the way that Ali is conducting himself, because Ali's politics on trans issues are not some neutral, abstract, philosophical disagreement. He's a fucking transphobe. They are political interventions into the lives of trans people, and those interventions have material consequences. When Ali says the disgusting things about keeping rapists out of women's prisons, what he's doing is invoking one of the oldest rhetorical devices in reactionary politics. Shadow boxing, this harm that's never going to happen, barely happens, taking an extreme criminal category and using it to define an entire marginalised group. He describes the Green Party as fanatical and authoritarian and monstrous and totalitarian. And all I'm seeing is an attempt to delegitimise the Green Party. It's so pathetic. It's actually feeble. It's pathetic, it's feeble. Doing this from the sidelines, by the way, like screaming, like, hey, so they did this to me and they did that to me because my opinion is blah, blah, blah. Like, grow up, wear a helmet. Wear a fucking helmet. You don't align with the Green Party, obviously. Political parties are and should be voluntary democratic associations. So it is up to the party to define the values that they are rooted in. So Ali, if the Green Party it increasingly views trans inclusion as a core ethical commitment and a fundamental human right, then the conflict with this politics is not evidence of authoritarianism, it's evidence of political incompatibility. Anyway, enough of my ranting. I'm keen to get Kevin's ranting on all of this. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
I genuinely think there needs to be scientific research into why certain people find transphobia so addictive. It's essentially a drug to these people, and much like addiction to narcotics or alcohol or anything like that, it's destructive to these people's lives. It's destructive to the people around them and to wider society, but it's destructive to their own lives. One only needs to look at the way in which someone like Graham Linehan went from being a very successful, rich, celebrated comedy writer to now sitting drunkenly in his pants typing on Twitter about how this latest bit of transphobic muck, and his wife is off with somebody else and his kids aren't interested in him, and so on. His entire life has been completely turned upside down because of his addiction to transphobia. And I get this similar impression from this individual, who I was previously unaware of as a person who existed until this story sort of broke, but was clearly someone who was a reasonably high up person in a major political party, and is now just screaming from the sidelines because the one thing that they can't break is their addiction to being hateful towards trans people. And that's really all it is. It's an addiction to being transphobic. It's they will literally take their previous political alignments and completely redraw everything on the basis that the one thing they can never let go of is fuck trans people. And sometimes quite literally, because they're also chasers, but that's a different matter entirely. They will literally go from being like economically left-wing to economically right-wing. They will go from being anti-war to pro-war. They will go from being anti-misogyny to pro-misogyny, etc., on the basis of just that one thing, that one core idea that they can never let go. And ultimately, the conflation you drew, or the conflation you underlined from this person, saying that the court case was a vindication of their politics. This is a thing that transphobes will always do. Whenever they get some kind of legal case that rules in their favour, it's almost always based around some kind of procedural motion or some sort of problem with the system. But what they do is take that and use that as a vindication of everything, including the most extreme beliefs that they have, up to and including the thing you mentioned there about their invoking of the trope of, the trans terror in prisons and such. Forgetting, of course, or knowing full well and choosing to pretend to be ignorant of, the fact that trans people are by far more likely to be the victims of, rather than the perpetrators of, sexual abuse, both inside and outside of prisons. Exactly. The threat to women is not trans people, it's cis men. It always has been, it always will be, because trans people aren't that way, by and large. Again, you can always pluck out one or two individual instances, but statistically speaking, trans people are not your threat. It's cis men. And who exactly is funding the transphobic movement in the UK? It's largely cis men who are evangelical Christians in the United States.
Yep. It's also getting really boring, actually. Like this boring transphobic rhetoric. Like, it's fucking tiring. I think in March 2025 there were over 3,500 reported cases recorded by the police of hate crimes towards the transgender community. And you know what's even more scary about that is that probably isn't even an accurate figure, because it's probably a lot higher than that. Because statistically, like you said, rightfully so, trans people, particularly trans women, are more likely to be victims of crime and harm. Like, they are the ones that will be victims of that.
I'm always reticent to mention specific numbers, especially when they come from the police, given the police's, let's say, penchant for raping themselves, but also for not giving a fuck about the victims of rape, up to and including the point where the vast majority of sexual assault goes completely unreported. And whilst we can have an educated guess based on research as to the actual extent of the problem, we'll never truly know, because the authorities have no interest in ever tackling the problem, because the people in authority are themselves sexual abusers. Again, to go back to Rupert Lowe for just a second, if you want to look for a den of iniquity filled with sexual abusers who use their power to engage in abuse, you're sat in a room with them. the House
Exactly.
of Commons, the House of Lords, the research is there. Sexual abuse is absolutely rampant amongst these people, as indeed, by the way, is all manner of other things, including Rupert. You were elected as a Reform Member of Parliament alongside a person who had a conviction for domestic abuse. So again, look inwards is what I would suggest.
Bun fucking Rupert Lowe. Like, I keep saying this, like, if you really want to aim low in life, like, vote Lowe. But you're so right. You're so right. There's so many things that you've said that are just incredibly correct. And when people like, oh my god, why can I not say his name today? Shahra Ali,
Yes.
frame trans people, but trans women particularly. It's always trans women they focus on, so much so.
Yeah.
Primarily through this lens of risk, whether it's prisons, bathrooms, violence. They invert the empirical reality because trans women, like you rightfully said, are statistically more likely to be targets of gendered violence than perpetrators of it. And this is where I want the focus to be. Like, if you are so passionate about the violence that is in our streets, the violence that's being upheld in institutions, even violent rhetoric, because it's not just bang, 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 it really is the way that people talk to one another, then really claim that. Really claim that you care about wanting to mitigate the violence happening to our communities. Because what I'm finding is that they are targeting minority people that have minority power every single time. The punching down is getting tiring.
Yeah.
Why do people consistently punch down? Why?
Well, because it's easier to punch down on someone who can't fight back, I suppose. But the point I wanted to make about prisons, if they actually cared about violence against prisoners, they wouldn't be looking towards trans people. In fact, they would be looking towards both the actual acts itself, but also the societal, not just acceptance, but promotion of rape by cis men of cis men in prisons. It's not just seen as a problem that's a part of the system. It's actively encouraged. It's seen as part of the punishment. You know, the whole "don't drop the soap" line is an absolutely ubiquitous experience of people talking about and thinking about the way in which prisons operate. And yet I don't hear a single word from any of these people about that, which is an absolute rife epidemic and has been seen as part of the situation. Or in fact the number of sexual assaults and indeed up to and including impregnations of women in prisons by prison staff. That's not mentioned. That's irrelevant. Even though, of course, given the power dynamic and the fact that the person can't leave that situation, you can't really have an informed consent situation. So literally every single incident there would be at least sexual assault, if not outright rape. But, you know, that's not to be mentioned because that can't be used to weaponise against trans people.
Literally, like, sickening. Protect trans people at all costs, man. Like, these feeble individuals on the sidelines, like, boop, just fucking flick them away. Anyway, before we move on, it's 2026, and we really want this year to be big for Turn Left. We want to be more ambitious than last year and to really put ourselves on the map, as you know. We would like 2026 to be the year where we can have a studio, keep doing the interviews we're able to do, keep going to the festivals that we were able to do, not music festivals, like actually, like, you know, media stuff, like just continue doing what we're doing, but also for our contributors to be paid for the work that we do. We do all of this alongside our full-time jobs, and your support has been appreciated and it's been recognized, and we don't take it lightly. We've seen it over the years. It's been amazing, and we are ready to take this to the next level. We rely on small donations, so if you want to be part of a media organisation that seeks to destroy the oligarchs, then please head over to turnleftmedia.co.uk/support, and there you can support us monthly on Patreon, or there is another link for a one-time contribution. You can also become a YouTube member for 99p. I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone who contributed to my London Marathon fundraiser. Like, massive thank you. I know that I keep saying it, but I am genuinely so grateful for the messages, the check-ins, the support, those that tracked, if you were able to, but that genuinely carried me through those 26.2 miles. I got to, Callum just asked me what the total was. I think over 3,300, just over £3,300 for a £2,500 target, which I think is great.
I'm muted. She can't
so
hear me
I'm
say
really,
that.
really grateful. So yeah, thank you for that, guys. Always so grateful. Anyway, last story. I don't think any of us will be surprised by this. I think I always somehow Farage and Lowe on my mind when I write a script, but there is something almost quite poetic about the fact that Farage, a man who has built his entire political brand on railing against the establishment and the corruption, and now be found under investigation over money he failed to declare. Farage reported to Parliament Standards Watchdog over undeclared £5 million donation, as Tories say, quote unquote, this stinks. The Conservatives have announced that they are referring Nigel Farage to the Parliamentary Commissioner over the Guardian's report, saying he is given £5 million by the crypto billionaire Christopher Harborne shortly before announcing that he would be a candidate at the 2024 election. I've spoken about this story a number of times. Christopher Harborne I've spoken about a number of times, especially after our very own Lewis Aaron's investigations into it, but it seems that the plot just thickens and new things keep unfolding, and with this, Farage had publicly said that he would he'd said that he would not stand in the 2024 election, citing both personal and financial reasons, and then within weeks of receiving this enormous and very generous gift, he reversed course, entered the race for Clacton, and eventually won his first seat in Westminster. Now, let's see.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
But it does raise obvious questions about influence and disclosure. And I don't think it's just the amount of money, although £5 million is an extraordinary sum by any standard. But I think I constantly go back to this. It's the hypocrisy, because Nigel Farage has spent loads of time, years and years, positioning himself as an outsider, as the insurgent, as the anti-establishment tribune, exposing elite corruption, and yet his political machine has repeatedly depended on the exact kind of billionaire patronage he claims to despise. That contradiction has followed him everywhere, consistently. Farage built Brexit, lest we forget Brexit, that I wasn't even old enough to vote in, by the way. Farage built Brexit-era politics on the emotional language of popular sovereignty, the big red buses and the democratic rebellion. But behind much of that machinery sat, again, wealthy financiers, major donors, and elite political operators. Fast forward to 2025, 2026, we're seeing the exact same thing unfold. Big lump sums of money lining the fabrics of reform. Reform is no different, and Christopher Harborne is not some apolitical benefactor. Harborne has been one of the Reform's biggest financial brokers, reportedly providing the party with around 2/3 of its funding last year, making him central not only to Farage's personal finances, but to the operational life of the political movement Farage is attempting to lead. Money does not have to come with explicit conditions to generate influence. Influence tends to be a structural thing. If a billionaire sustains your political operation, funds your security, funds your party, funds like everything that you're doing, underwrites your movement, the relationship itself becomes politically, relevant, whether or not any direct favour is ever exchanged. So the whole thing is pretty fucking remarkable. He's deeply suspicious of institutional influence when it involves trade unions, NGOs, European institutions, or human rights bodies, but suddenly becomes very, very relaxed about billionaire intervention when the billionaire's writing checks to him. It's just mad. Kevin, are we surprised?
Not remotely surprised. I just have to ask, you weren't able to vote in the Brexit referendum?
I think I missed it by a few days, actually.
Oh God, I feel very fucking old now. Oh no. Anyway, these young people, it makes you sick, doesn't it, with their youth and health and vitality. Anyway, yes, this is not remotely surprising. Nigel Farage's entire bit has been fake from the very beginning. His populism was never anything of the kind. He's always just been a Tory who was too Tory for the Tories and so was never allowed in. He'd happily have joined them, though, if they'd have allowed him to do so. He's just the same money-grabbing, desperate, power-hungry freak that Rishi Sunak was, or Liz Truss was, or Boris Johnson was. He's just another public schoolboy wanker who wants to rule the world because he was told from a young age that he was born to rule the world. He's a nasty bigot, as we all know, but also that his, supposed credentials as a populist and as an anti-establishmentarian is bollocks. It was always rubbish from the very beginning. If you look at the shady financial dealings of his various political parties over the course of the years, and of Brexit itself, of course, his entire political project has been built on dark money. And I think there's a wider discussion to be had here. Why is it that we're allowing crypto bros to run our political system? I think I genuinely think if you engage in cryptocurrency or AI, you should be banned from any political top-level engagement because you are a corrupted, foul individual who I don't think is conducive to the public good. I genuinely don't. I think you need to be restricted in a number of ways. I'm not suggesting you should lose the franchise, you should be allowed to vote, but in the idea that you can just give £5 million, how is that not, by the way, just money laundering? Crypto by its very nature is just essentially a kind of mafia money transference scheme from the beginning to the end. It may not have started that way, but that's how it's used now. There's a reason that the likes of Andrew Tate have made millions in this kind of scam, this Ponzi scheme rubbish, and then you're giving £5 million to the man who might be Prime Minister in a couple of years' time. And we're expecting nothing bad from that situation. We're essentially on a road here to becoming like America, where everything is literally just nakedly and openly. Elon Musk can just buy a general election. And I don't see this as any different. Whether anything will happen, I doubt it, because unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you're rich enough, you can just buy justice. By I mean, of course, injustice, but you can buy the justice system. And that's precisely what will happen here, because you can give £5 million, it can go undeclared, and no one suffers any real consequence to that whatsoever. Because, again, if you're rich enough, white enough, and powerful enough, you can just do whatever you like.
I actually agree with you. And that was going to be my next question. You've answered it. But
Sorry.
will anything come of... No. I'm actually glad that you did that. Like, will anything come of this? We both agree, no, I don't think anything will come of this, because there's always... Profit is always favoured, particularly when it comes from the wealthy. It just seems to hover in this elite circle.
Well, exactly. The elite circle is a good point, because I think another kind of thing this week that we... indeed yesterday that we saw, was the covering up of the Mandelson inquiry thing in Parliament. Honestly, if you're well connected enough, you can literally do anything, up to and including being, let's just say, very close friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, he hasn't been found guilty of anything, because, again, he's well connected enough that nothing's going to happen. Again, it sort of all ties back, I think, to the idea that we, protecting women and girls. The actual people who are a threat to women and girls are people like Peter Mandelson, or the former Prince Andrew of Norfolk. These kind of people are an actual threat to women and girls, whereas trans people or migrants, by and large, are pretty chill, actually.
Completely agree with you, and I think it's a really great segue to be able to bring our producer in. Producer?
Callum!
Hello.
Callum. Whoa. Might as well be the hooligans that we are.
Great show as always. And can I just say, a massive congratulations, Sarah, for your incredible feat on the London Marathon.
Thank you.
I spoke to you afterwards, and
you did,
and made you aware of the fact that it's 13 miles from the Everest base camp to the top of Mount Everest. So what you did was from base camp to the tip of Mount Everest and back in terms of distance.
In less than 2 hours. Very impressive.
I know, guys. I'm a speedy gal. In actual fact, it was over 5 hours. But, hey, we all got the same medal.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
No, literally, I mentioned that just because it was in the news. But, yeah, the fact that guy literally ran a marathon in under 2 hours.
No sense.
Like, how? Were you fucking sprinting? What do you mean?
Makes no sense. 17-second 100 meters, like 100 meters consistently. How do you
For
do
26 fucking miles, you mad cunt? What the fuck?
He didn't even walk.
Yeah.
He didn't even walk. I walked.
No. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, you would. It's 26 miles. That's a long ass way. Yeah. Honestly, you should be able to stop and have a drink. Just chill the fuck out for 10 minutes,
Hop on a golf buggy for half the distance.
Well, no, that's cheating. That's cheating. Please.
This is why I don't run marathons. But no,
well, I don't, because I'm a lazy prick. So
no, you're not.
Honestly, last year I don't think I ran 26 miles all year. I walked some places, but I didn't fucking run anywhere.
Yeah, that's what over the entire year I probably didn't run that far. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if I've even run like 500 meters in the last 12 months, to be fair.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm trying to think when the last time I ran was.
I think I ran about 200 yards for the bus a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I've ran for the bus and missed it plenty of times. Missed it.
That's about it.
I run away from a wasp. Does that count?
Oh god.
No. Do you know yesterday, Callum? Sorry, such a digression, but
was it actually threatening you? What did it say? What?
Yeah, it was. It was saying buzz, buzz, buzz. So
cheeky bastard. They're too lippy, these fucking wasps.
Aren't they?
They're lippy. But yesterday in the comments when we hosted, there were people saying, "Oh well, the Greens lost one vote because Callum left the door open.
Literally.
And it just made me laugh. I cackled. It was, funny.
Yeah, but how many votes did we gain from all the leaflets I delivered in that by-election, and all the doors I knocked on in that by-election, and all the people who I convinced to vote for us in that by-election? You know.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot because I was filming most of the time.
Nah, flex.
But, you know, just you know, and we won by quite a large margin. Just say it.
Well, I'm saying your engagement with the Green Party and the Green Party's meteoric rise are obviously connected.
Literally, before
correlation does equal causation. It does.
When I joined the party, there was only one MP. So you know, just saying. Like,
yeah, exactly. If it carries on the way it is, in 100 years, they're going to have like thousands of MPs.
Why is it thousands of me going to join? Is that how that works?
I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, all joking aside, to the comments. I'm not. Oh, I know exactly what this is in relation to. Jeremy Beadle fan.
Oh, you can't.
£5 super chat. Our dreams fulfilled.
What does this mean?
Right.
What does this mean? I always feel like I'm not part of any friendship groups. Like I just feel like I never get the inside jokes.
Well, you may not notice, but that the avatar there is 2 pictures of me superimposed onto Jeremy Beadle's body.
Oh.
So this is a joke on my channel where I just happened to mention, well, we were talking about Karl Marx's grave, obviously, in Highgate Cemetery in London, right? And I mentioned that there are loads of other famous people buried there, one of whom we found out when we Googled it was Jeremy Beadle. And I was shocked to find that Jeremy Beadle was dead. I didn't know he was dead. And someone said, you look like him. Because I had to explain for Americans who this was, so I showed a picture of him and told everyone about him. And I reacted. And you should never react to bullies. And that's right, chat. You are bullying me.
Can I be honest? I have no idea who Jeremy Beadle.
You just assaulted me.
Yes, you do. We did. You've been framed.
No, he didn't. That's Harry Hill.
Oh, you're so fucking young. It's disgusting. Oh my god. You couldn't vote in Brexit. You don't remember Jeremy Beadle doing fucking... You've been framed. Oh, honestly, it's despicable, chat. It really is.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Terrible. Well, anyway, thank you very much for the £5 super chat there, Jeremy Beadle fan.
No, thank you. Fuck off. You bullying.
Well, just keep giving it to us instead of Kev. It's fine. Paul Webster Lincoln said, "So Kev, did you, Jeff? So Kev, did you check out Richard J. Murphy's latest pod that is the
back.
Sheffield University professor?"
I didn't. No, link it to me. Well, a little plug here. I've got a Discord server which you can join, and there's a stream suggestions bit. Put it in there, and I'll take a look.
So have we, by the way. We've also got a Discord server, and normally our wonderful community join a voice chat after the show. So someone, I'm sure, will share the link. But actually, if anyone in our Discord's got the link for Kev's Discord, then cross share and link it up. And yeah. But yeah, thank you for that, Paul. Thanks for the £5 there as well.
Thank you.
Michael gifted 1 turn left membership.
Thanks,
grateful
Michael.
as always. As did Guitar Guy.
Thanks, Guitar.
Not Kevin Logan has gifted 50 turn left membership.
Whoa!
Thank you, not Kevin.
Thank you, not Kevin.
Is that who am I superimposed on there?
Is that you?
That's my face on. I don't know who it is, but she's got lovely ears. Yeah. I don't know who that is though. Is it Jennifer Lopez or something?
It might be.
Oh my god! Is it because I call you Kalo?
Yeah, that's Kalo J-Lo.
That was done quickly. If that nickname only came up today.
Yeah, well done.
Or have I missed that? Have I missed that nickname before?
Maybe.
I gave it to Kevin today.
Well done, not Kevin.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for those 50 memberships. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's really generous. Well done.
As do the 50 people that have been gifted.
Thank you.
Jenny Jordan has said, a £5 super chat there. Thank you for that. If the goal is harming trans people, Ali would be much better positioned to join the Labour Party.
True.
Or just any party that is Labour that way, right? Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure if you
Labour.
wait long enough, you probably will. Shahir Ali has spent his entire post-Green Party career doing everything he possibly can to try and bring down the Green Party, and every time he tweets, the Green Party seem to get more members. So
and of course that talk about what was it, Islamist entryism. Yeah, you'll get on really well with the racism in the Labour Party.
I just have my favourite pastime when I'm bored is to see what he's tweeted and just respond to him, because it sets him off, and he has to hit back every single time. He is just a bitter transphobic man who is angry that he got kicked out of a political party because he didn't hold the views and values of said political party, which isn't against the law. But we'll talk more about that in a bit. Deus Ex, Ollie, as always, we love your support.
Thanks,
Thank
Ollie.
you. Gifted a Turn Left membership. Andrew Luke also gifted a Turn Left, 5 Turn Left membership. Sorry,
Andrew.
thank you for those. And Specs has gifted one as well, and I think Specs is in the middle of a move, so good luck with all of that. But yes, so Rupert Lowe, Arthur Bumblefoot. Rupert Lowe is pretty much a parliamentarian of old, rich and doesn't give a shit, but wants power and will use anything to get it.
Yeah, he's beg.
Yeah.
Can't really argue with that one.
He's again. I am very old. He's beg.
He's a beg.
Please do explain.
He just begs it. He's just a beggar.
Okay.
Probably now that I've had to explain it, it makes me seem like the most politically incorrect, horrible individual ever. Kalo,
right.
Why would you do that?
Because I didn't. Because I was.
Don't interrogate.
I'm old. I didn't know what you meant.
No, you're not old.
I didn't understand the thing you meant.
Me and Kalo are falling out. No, I'm joking.
I'm scared. Why don't my grandkids call me anymore?
I was just gonna talk about. I was just gonna say a joke and I shouldn't. Anyway, I want to be politically correct.
So moving swiftly on then. Poodlefish Girl has said he's just using it as a weapon to attack anyone non-white or Christian. Literal Nazis support him. They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally.
We don't need to say anything on that.
He's a beg.
You learned quick. Kalo, come back again.
Edward Sexby has said, having grown up in the 80s and 90s, I can very much say that street abuse / catcalling for women is very much a male problem.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I recently covered, obviously, the CNN investigation that happened about the quote-unquote rape academy that had 62... Well, the whole site had 62 million visits. But then people would say... Men would respond and say, yeah, but only 20,000 people went onto this part of the site where they were sedating their partners. And it was like, 20,000 should scare you. 62 million visits to that site should frighten you. So when I sit here and say that I think men are the problem, then I stand 10 toes down in that. Yep. Men are the issue.
Honestly.
Whether you like it or not. Stop escaping accountability. It pisses me off. The reason why they keep blaming foreign men who come in is because they want to other themselves from them. They're like, we're not responsible. We do not harm women and girls. It is them. And it's like, no, it's you too. It's you as well. You are the problem.
I'd be interested in the statistics as a proportion as to who is more of a threat to women in this country. White politicians who have sat in the House of Commons, or asylum seekers, because if you think how many asylum seekers there are, if you think how many MPs, bear in mind you have 630, 650, something like that, in parliamentary sitting. If you think how many white male members of parliament have either been convicted of or charged with or accused of horrific crimes against women, and you look at that as a proportion of the male MPs in Parliament, I would wager that is a significantly higher proportion than the number of asylum seekers.
100%. Well, all I'll say is the current government are ensconced in 2 pedo-related scandals. Clearly the political establishment are the problem.
Right? Wait, what's the second one?
What's his name? Was it Doyle, the guy who was the advisor, who is in the House of Ian Doyle? He's in the House of Lords. They were trying to find an ambassadorial role for him too, even though he campaigned on behalf of someone who had sexually explicit images of children.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
It's all caught up in the same Mandelson thing.
Exactly. There's so much paedophilia going on in Westminster. It's
by the
difficult to
way,
pass out who's who.
Let's just remember, just to take this opportunity, just to remember what happened yesterday and the fact that Parliament voted to not refer the Prime Minister to the Privileges Committee as to whether he misled Parliament on his appointment of, you know, the friend of
15.
Is it
out of
Ian
400.
or Matthew? Ian or Matthew Doyle?
Matthew Doyle, sorry, yes. Only 15 out of 400 Labour MPs voted for transparency.
Good for them though. At least some of them have got a bit of a spine.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say I've watched some of the discourse surrounding that rape academies thing, and anyone who's like, oh, only so many people, blah 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 blah. Public stocks need to be brought back. You need to go in the stocks in the public square, and people can throw things at you. Yeah. You need to learn. You're being antisocial and weird. You need to fucking learn.
They need to be shamed. They do. They need to be shamed. They need to be mocked. They need to be shamed. That's. Oh, I feel
it's
like
also it also feeds into why I support banning social media for under 16s, because I think a lot of this shit that was on that website in the story that you covered last week, Sarah. I think. I mean, Twitter is a cesspit since Elon Musk took over. You know, and the fight that the government had with Grok over Grok's ability to create indecent images of children and non-consensual images of other people is just, you know, that in and of itself highlights the massive problem here. And I know a lot of people don't support, you know, further control around you know, making the internet safer, but you know, everyone kicked off about having to provide ID to access adult websites. But I'm sorry, if it keeps children away from shit like this, and also, you know what, if it's taking your personal information, right? If you're putting your ID in or scanning your face to access a quote-unquote mainstream adult website, you know, a sort of, you know, a legal one, then you know what? What's the issue? But equally, if you then have to scan your face to access the sort of website that Sarah covered the other day, where they've got literal fucking rape videos, then I'm sorry. I hope they do take your data, and I hope they find you, and I hope they fucking lock you up for it.
Well, I agree, but then I think, and this is where I'm like, I don't think that taking social media for under 16-year-olds is going to help, because I just think the people that need to be held to account are these big tech companies that don't regulate their shit. Like, I think actually we need to be interrogating the rich dons on top, aka Musk, who allowed for Grok to do the things that he's done, because he created that beast. Like, it's the people that create these machines of like destruction, like machines of just harm, that don't seem to regulate their shit properly. Regulate
I think a mix of both would probably be the better option.
Who would have thought that someone like Elon Musk, who was found in the Epstein files to be begging Epstein to go to the island and was such a fucking loser, was not even allowed to go there? So who would have thought he would have created something that created kid porn? Crazy, I know. But just to people in chat, I wasn't really being serious with the public stocks thing. I was venting.
Oh, Kaylo's joking.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're new here,
I like it when you come on, Kev, because I get away with a lot more of my takes when you're here, because everyone hones in on what you say instead.
Yeah, I'm very much like the Glenn Beck of the left. I say the crazy extreme shit so that the actual kind of more out there stuff but serious stuff is less crazy by comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
And I'm fat, old and white, so I am like Glenn Beck, you know?
He's so silly.
And Beadle and others.
When I'm not dead, what the fuck?
You know, when Kev came into the
Kalo.
stream before, Kalo came into the thing before we went live. Me and Curtis were like, "How are you?" He was like, "Alive."
Yeah, alive.
And that's all he said.
That's true. Well,
if you want to know what sort of person Kalo is,
we're not having a discussion with a ghost, are we? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, on the
no,
point
I'm just no, I am just naturally this white. I'm not actually a ghost though.
On the point of silly or extreme views, we got this one from Carl. Our regular viewers know that I like to bring up comments like this when they raise their head. The loony left finally waking up to Rupert. You are going to see and hear a lot more from this man over the next 3 years. I mean, yeah, probably as an MP, we probably will.
Yeah.
I think it is hilarious how many people seem to think that Rupert Lowe is going to be the next Prime Minister. You know what? I want. Is it restore or is it advance that Rupert's involved with? I can never remember.
Restore.
There's so many of these alternatives to reform now. But you know what? I want restore to do well. I really do, because it's splitting the reform vote. And what it's going to lead to, inevitably, is a hung parliament where we end up with a Labour government that needs the Green Party in order to stay in power. And I can get behind that. So.
Yeah, advance is Ben Habib's thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Ben Habib.
Another person who was formerly in Reform but split away. They're very much the Judean People's Front of the right.
Yeah,
they're also just like
jumping
bitter
around, aren't they?
They're jumping around, but
Reform's mostly Conservatives now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're also just these soundbite parties that are disgruntled men who were bitter about being pushed out of Reform, and because they're so angry, they said, I'm going to go even further than Reform, and have done so. But Rupert Lowe will continue being the angry old man he is online. And this is why Restore will do so good for you. Tweet,
You know what?
tweet. Like, it's stupid. He just
Was it
keyboard warrior.
Was it Bridget Phillipson or was it Rachel Reeves in that clip that we showed? They have
Bridget
the same,
Phillipson.
Bridget.
They have the same bob haircut. So if I'm not
Bridget.
paying attention, I always get confused.
As a northerner, I can't believe that you would not notice the northern accent over Rachel Reeves's thing.
That is a fair point,
true.
actually. But you know what? I thought that her response to that question was brilliant. Highlight. I mean, nobody gives a shit. They don't care about hypocrisy. They don't.
Yeah.
But the fact that she just turned it around and was like, well, says the guy who's got multiple accusations of harassment against him, like sit this way.
Well, that's what I loved about Zach Polanski on Good Morning Britain the other day. Literally, like just pointing out the shit. Like, this is why you're hated. This
You
rubbish
accused me of being a Labour minister 16 years ago.
I watched that before I went to sleep.
It's like,
Nice.
but you were
'Cause I
a
watched the
Labour
seat.
minister 16 years ago.
Balls get angry.
I was a bit disappointed though when I saw the headline "Polanski exposes balls." I was expecting a very different video, but what can I say?
Moving on, Terry said, when Gary Lineker says something, they slag him off and say he shouldn't bring politics into football.
Right?
Or the BBC.
Stick to football. Stop talking about politics unless it's something I agree with. Yeah.
Exactly. The irony.
Moving on to Shahara Ali.
Shahara Ali.
Thank you.
God, you're even whiter than I am. What the fuck?
Who?
Callum.
Well, there's an H and then an R. That was
Have you got a nickname? Have you got a nickname that I can use?
I'm going to call you Dave. Dave.
You know what?
I remember. Sorry, this is such a digression. But when I was in primary school, we had to dress up as Victorian children. And we went to this place and we had to emulate being Victorians.
I did that. I did that as an adult as part of an interactive theatre.
No, but obviously I have the knowledge I
hang
do.
On. When you say you had to be like Victoria, what, you went up a chimney and died of TB at the age of 12?
No.
What?
No, we had to I'll literally I'll put the picture in the Discord. If
I've got cholera from infected drinking water.
If I ask my dad, he'll find it. They gave me the hat and everything. Anyway, I said the woman was like, "What's your name?"
They just sent her to the workhouse for.
Let me tell my funny story. Also, it doesn't help that I would have been black in the Victorian time, so yeah, probably worse in the workhouses. Yeah. But the woman was like, say what's your name? Like, say your full name. So I inserted my full name, Sarah, blah blah blah, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna call you Sarah Jane," and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Really? Just call me Sarah."
I can't pronounce that. I'm calling you Michael.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If Ali had respect for other people's preferred pronouns and preferred names, I might be tempted to give it a bit more a bit more time to work it out, but I can't be bothered. If he can't be asked, then fuck him. Emma said, sorry to interrupt that wonderful story, by the way, Sarah. Emma said, though, in relation to Ali,
did we interrupt? I can't remember if we interrupted at all.
I don't know. Just moving on. He's doing a glinner, so obsessed with his turfdom that he's willing to risk bankruptcy and everything else. Lol, go on then.
That's literally what I was saying. Yeah, absolutely. It's an addiction. It ruins their lives. They need to be helped and saved from themselves.
It is very odd, isn't it? I remember that a video about 18 months or so ago of someone who, I mean, it was whether it's true or not, but they claimed that they were sat in the back of a taxi in Edinburgh, and apparently the taxi driver had taken J.K. Rowling's family in the taxi before, and he had all the gossip that apparently like all the family have turned on her and nobody, all of her friends don't talk to her anymore and that she's lost. And it was the same story as what has happened to Graham Linehan, right, where everyone sane around them have just gone, this is just silly now. Remember during COVID where we all had that friend that we lost or that family member that we lost because they went down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and thought we were all being injected with fucking microchips. Like, it's the same bullshit. It's the same sort of brain process where they get captured by this weird sort of illness where it just becomes the whole personality. And you know what, it's really, really sad because some of these people, I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of Linehan's work, but some of these people, they could have not to sound like the people that say stick to football, but they could have kept quiet and they could have gone to their graves with a very nice legacy, and instead they've lost everything.
Well, I was
to be transphobic pieces of shit.
I was a fan of Father Ted. He's the thing that sort of made him famous originally. A superb series, really well observed, funny. He and Arthur Matthews, the writing duo, were very, very good. But regardless of whether you like his work or not, he was genuinely well thought of. He wrote the.
Did you see his Zach Polanski skit he did the other day?
Yeah, exactly. Like he used to write funny things, and now he just goes. Now
he just sticks some bloody cornflakes to his teeth and fucking.
Yeah. Also, I know we're not supposed to do this on the left, but if there's one person who can't ever go at anyone else's appearance, Glinner, you look like a failed abortion, mate. Wind your neck in, bruv.
Kayla,
come on now. No, come on now. You can't. I don't want. If you look like Brad Pitt, come at me, right? But if you're fucking Glinner, shut up, mate.
Glass houses and all that.
Yeah, just fucking stop. You look like you've had a stroke. Sorry.
Kaylo.
What?
So Leo has said two comments here from Leo. Hi Leo, hope you're well.
Hey,
Leo said, how is it against the law to kick someone out of a political party when said person advocates for the opposite ideology of the party? Eh?
Yeah, exactly. They're deliberately exclusionary things.
And as Sarah pointed out,
should the Conservatives have to have Marxist-Leninists in it?
Exactly. And as Sarah pointed out in the story, what the court ruled was that he had been. He'd been expelled through the wrong process. They'd not dealt with the disciplinary correctly is what had happened. They'd not dealt with it properly. It was a matter of process. The court did also say that political parties do have a right to remove people on their political beliefs, because the whole point of a political party is that it has certain fucking political beliefs attached to it. And if you don't share those beliefs, moving on to Leo's next comment, then you may as well do what Leo said. Yeah, no worries. I'll just become a reform spokesperson and advocate for socialism, equality, and empathy. Then sue them for kicking me out. Man, get
good
an actual
point.
life.
Really great point, Leo. Completely fucking agree.
Yeah.
Well said.
It's yeah. Michael's also said, oh, for fuck's sake, now reporting that a family member, quotes of Zach's, said that they'll move to Israel if he becomes PM. What's really funny about this is
I'll drive you to the airport myself. Fuck off.
What's really funny about this, though, is after they reported, after the most recent spate of reports on what Zach's family are allegedly saying, Zach's family actually put a complaint in and had to take court orders out against the media for them to stop contacting them. These family members that they're quoting are like, distant cousins thrice removed who, spring out from the woodwork. And let's be honest, we've all got people like that in our families. We've all got someone that thinks that what we do or what we think is a load of bollocks, and that would do absolutely everything they could to go to the media and sell a story on us if we ever became a leader of a political party. Everyone's got people like that.
I've got people in my family who I would happily not piss on if they were on fire. Evil people. I don't give two fucks if they want to leave if I become Prime Minister. Good. I'll pay for your flights. Get the fuck out. Go on. Sorry.
And we've not really
don't, sorry.
looked at the comments on the Farage story, although I think a lot of them were similar to what was said about Rupert Lowe earlier on. I just want to go back there. We've Andrew sent £2 and said Glinna looks like Arlene Foster.
Yeah. And Arlene Foster looks like someone drew a sad face on their saggy knee skin. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Bless her. She saved Theresa May from a terrible time in her life. Leave her alone.
Thanks, Arlene. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm just going back up because we've had a few more. So the Good Globalist has gifted 510 left memberships.
Thank you.
Thanks for those. Jenny and Jordan's also said. Sarah makes a great point. £5 super chat. Sarah makes a great point. Every woman I know that has been assaulted, including myself, was by a white British guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an immigrant, not an asylum seeker, not a trans woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always the cis guys. Just that's that's just the nature of it.
Plants McGee has sent £2 and said Kevin graduated uni before co-host was 10.
That can't be true.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, what year would that... Well, unless you don't want to dox your age.
No, I don't mind. I was born 98, so...
98, so...
When I was 10. Probably
2008.
No, just after then, because I graduated 2009,
Guys,
10.
Did you hear my maths? Did you hear my maths?
So
I said 1998, 2011.
Yeah, so when Sarah was 12. Yeah, I just ignored that, and that's why I said it would have been 2008. You're fine.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So just afterwards, but like, I mean, yeah, it's still disgusting. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you look good for your age. Let's say that, Kev.
Thank you.
I was talking to Kev, but.
Oh.
But yeah, hang on, what would looking good for your age? You're not an age where you would look old anyway.
I was going to say, you're still young anyway.
Guys, it's a stressful time.
Like when I answered that I'm alive, that wasn't me being deadpan. That was literally just a confirmation that I hadn't died yet.
Roderick Joyce has gifted 10 turn left memberships. Thank you so much for those.
Is that a peregrine falcon in your picture?
It looks like it might be. Someone's letting fireworks off near me. I don't know if you can hear them. Paul Webster Lincoln sent £5 more. Thank you for those. Whichever. The coins.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
And said, I do not do Discord, Instagram, Facebook, or other. How do I talk to this group as you keep filtering me dropping my LinkedIn address? It's probably not us filtering it. YouTube does its own weird thing where it will recognize comments that it doesn't like and just filter them. In the comments on our videos is probably the best place, Paul, if you don't use any of the other social medias.
Or tie a message, put it in a little ring around a pigeon's leg and send it to me via carrier pigeon. It'll get here. And I will eat that pigeon.
But yeah, you can always go back to the live replay as well, and the comments on our videos is probably the best place. But you can come here 3 times a week, Paul. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Join the Discord.
You know,
you don't have to put your real name.
Yeah, if you set up a Discord, you can join and then you can talk to people that way. You can do it anonymously or under a pseudonym. That's all fine. And I don't think we're on LinkedIn, so.
I don't even know what happens on LinkedIn. I've heard of it, but I've never used it.
It's these corporate people that are like, so today I went into the gym and basically I was thinking about this new innovative idea about like crypto. And as I was on this treadmill,
I'll never forget when the former leader of the Green Party, Adrian Ramsey,
briefcase.
Bless his soul. He had an interaction with some members of Young Greens, and they'd been talking to him, and and he wanted to keep in touch with them. And his question was, "Are you on LinkedIn?" And these were literally like 17, 18-year-olds. And I just thought,
that is the most like maidenless behaviour I've ever
heard of. They're not on
LinkedIn. That is tragic.
These kids are not. These kids are not on LinkedIn. It's great I'm sure for Paul it works wonders if you're. Do
you have a MySpace? Do you have a MySpace?
If you work in certain sectors.
Are you on Friends Reunited?
God, is MySpace still going?
Bebo?
Is that even still a thing?
I don't know, but if it does,
not.
I'd love to get my old MySpace up. and
Bebo?
see what terrible
Bebo, yeah.
shit I was
Did you
like.
use
Was Bebo the one where you added best friends, or like that were connected and linked on your thing, or was that MySpace?
MySpace was before my time, but Bebo I did use.
Before my time.
I know, it's disgusting. Honestly, I'm genuinely angry.
I was around when Facebook was all about poking. Remember the poke?
I grew. Did poke still exist? I grew up on MSN Messenger. Yeah.
MSN was the shit.
MSN.
Yes.
And then you could do the little letters. You know the letters, like you
Nudging
could make
people.
snazzy.
Yeah.
The knock.
Yeah.
Like this.
Nudging, and also, you know, if people that you wanted to see, if there were people online that you wanted them to see that you were online, you'd log out and log back in again so that you popped up on the screen.
Yeah, and you go little noise. Yeah. Fuck yes.
But yeah, so anyway, to wrap that one up, Paul. Yes, if you want to set up a Discord and join, feel free. But yeah, if not, unfortunately we're not on LinkedIn, so probably just here is probably the best place. But you know, come and join. It's a lovely community, and we here 3 times a week, so you can chat to people here. Vicky has sent a £10 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Vicky. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Vicky.
We know from Labour that they can basically kick you out for any reason they want. Remember retroactive expulsions for talking to groups, as they're effectively private members clubs. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Labour have made that very
they
clear,
have to be as well. Like, I don't know how you can operate a partisan political system without having a way of filtering out people from your group. That doesn't make sense. Like, otherwise, it's just open to everyone and therefore utterly meaningless.
Yeah. And Plants McGee sent £2 and says, LinkedIn scan
Thank
your
you.
PC when you go on their website. Do they?
I didn't know that.
I don't know. But thank you for sharing that. I'm now Googling Reddit. LinkedIn is illegally searching your computer.
I love that £2 donation. Turn left media on Truth Social.
Oops.
No, should we be? Would you like us to be? I think that would go down really well, you know.
I do have an account on Truth Social, which I started.
So do I, but it's
as a
only
joke.
so I.
But I'm not as Kevin Logan. I'm the ghost of Hugo Chavez.
I only set one up. I only set one up so I could see what Trump was tweeting, and then found a Twitter account that basically copies and pastes it straight over to Twitter. So I've not actually used it since then.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, I'm kind of lying because apparently I follow 45 people. So, but they're all American.
Is there anyone on that site who isn't American?
I did not follow these people. That's really, really funny. So I've just logged into Truth Social, which I don't actually use anymore, as I've just said. And I'm following 45 accounts, right? Now, the only account that I actually remember following, I mean, I'm following the Transport Security page. I'm following Secretary Sean Duffy, Secretary Kennedy, Secretary Nome, fucking Nome, Caroline Levitt, the White House, the
Secretary
Daily
Noam
Signal.
Chomsky. What?
No, you know who I'm on about. Bloody what's his face?
The one that shot a dog. Yes.
Yeah. The Federalist, Newsmax. I did not follow these fucking.
So,
pages.
in other words,
what? Fox News, Washington Examiner, Washington Times.
all the right wing shit. So basically, what Trump's people have done is taken what they think are dead accounts and use them to beef up the followers of accounts that they want to, push.
Have we just got an exclusive story there live on air?
Well, clearly, because it's obviously fake as fuck anyway. But if you didn't follow them, it's because you haven't used that for so long. They think that's a dead account, but it's a number they can add to Secretary No.
I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't follow Reclaim the Net or Unusual Wales. Like,
what's unusual about Cardiff? That's outrageous.
No, it's Wales with an H. Then it's unusual stock options crypto. It's crypto, fucking crypto.
Yeah, so it's so basically they're beefing up numbers of accounts. Yeah,
then
they're probably, let's be honest, they're probably paying Trump for that service as well, I imagine.
It is getting to 9:20, so I'm conscious of time.
Breaking news there, guys. Yeah, insane. Thanks, Sarah.
We just did an investigative journalism.
Brilliant.
You're welcome.
Leo says I smell a Friday story. What is Unusual Wales? It's all stocks and crypto. We'll look into that one further. Anyway, thank you both, and
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Great show as always. Vicky's just saying she's not secretary anymore. I think you're on about Gnome. She's now the Angel of the North or whatever border non-job they gave it. Yeah, they sent her to the wall to
No, the
be on
gnome.
Night's Watch, didn't
She's
they?
just standing in a garden with a fishing rod. Gnome, not a gnome.
Thanks so much, Cal.
End on a high note, Kev.
See you later, guys.
Thank you.
And we've just had another £2 from 22 Oreos. Kevin, you're built like
Thank
a brick
you.
shithouse.
Thank you. I am. Yeah, I'm a fat cunt. Yeah, true.
No.
Yeah.
No, thanks so much,
I'm a
Callum.
sellout. We get paid to read it. Sorry, Kev.
That's absolutely fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's correct.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Callum. That was really great. And also, thanks so much, Kalo, for joining me.
Thank you for having me on. I'll have to come up with a nickname for you now.
Saz.
Saz. Is that what people call you?
I mean, you could go with Eslo.
Some
but that's
people
just
call
slow.
me that. Eslo.
Slow.
Yeah, but what's the low in your
that's
name?
slow. I don't like that.
But what's the low in your name? You can't just add low. Low's because my surname begins with low.
That's why I thought of it. Like, it came to me.
Sardar.
It came to me. Star. We'll have to discuss it.
Yeah, we'll
thanks.
workshop it. It'll be good.
We will. Thanks so much, Kalo. Thanks to all of you guys too for being so wonderful and present, and the comments. It's been great. And thank you for your love and support. I'm very, very grateful. As you know, we go live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. This week was the exception because we cancelled our Monday show. We actually ended up doing a Tuesday show, so you've had back to back. But I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I'm Sarah Delau, and I'll see you guys next time.
Sorry, I thought you were going to tell them where they can support us. So.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I actually forgot something. You guys can support us by visiting telemedia.co.uk/support, or there is a link to our Patreon where you can become a member, I believe. I haven't written it.
Just tell them all we love them, and we'll see them Friday.
And we love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Adolf Hitler.
I'm there and I'm thinking she's going to do the support thing.
Adolf Hitler.
I'm so stupid.
You're not stupid.
I actually do forgot.
Anyway, I'm going to go because I want to go and watch Coronation Street and find out who's...
Oh, you're so northern coded.
Corey.
Oh.
I'm going to bed. I've got.
It's the other half's fault. She got me into it. So.
Corey, you got to watch EastEnders. EastEnders is better.
I used to watch EastEnders, stopped watching EastEnders.
Oh, you're both fucking nerds.
I fell about 12 months behind on
not.
EastEnders and couldn't be bothered catching up anymore.
Kalo, I don't even watch TV anymore.
Neither do I. I couldn't be
I
bothered.
can't remember the last time I did.
I'm a real nerd. I pay for a TV license.
I'm so old. I listen to the radio.
Oh, I mean, I do too, but apparently you're not a fan of radio too.
No, I listen to radio, not slop.
Oh, come on, Kevin.
Radio fucking
Sarah Cox on Tea Time is like that's where it's at. And she's gonna be on Breakfast soon, which is the breakfast
Does
on
Jeremy
Radio
Vine
2.
still do
The most listened to radio show in the UK is Breakfast on Radio 2.
Does Jeremy Vine still do it?
Jeremy Vine does still do Radio 2. Yeah, he's on early
Just
late
because
morning
something's
on it.
popular doesn't mean it's good. Okay. The Nazis won an election. Is all I'll say.
You're not comparing Sarah Cox and Jeremy Vine to the bloody Nazis, Kevin.
I'm comparing Radio 2 to the Nazi Party. Yeah.
Give over.
Yeah. Right, guys. I love and leave you. Thanks so much, Kalo. You're the best.
Thank you
Bye,
for having me
thank
on.
you, Callum.
I'll see you later.
You're welcome. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
And on that bombshell. Always end on a high note, Kev. Fucking hell. Oh, I miss Ken Bruce. Get out. With your fucking Radio 2. Just remember an old job I did. They'd have Radio 2 on during the day. So you get used to the rhythm of fucking Vine and then Ken Bruce and his stupid quizzes and... Anyway, on that bombshell. I was going to watch PMQs, but I cannot be bothered. Can we have the music again? What music? To what do you refer, dear boy? Slash girl slash they. I don't know what your gender is. You can't just write Beadle. You have to work it in as part of a joke. Because that's just abuse at that point. That's just bullying. You silly sausage. You are the silliest of the geese. Okay, who's going on the YouTubes? Yeah. What is going on here? What? What? Hang on, he hasn't got a fucking edited video already, has he? What the how? What? I genuinely... Curtis is a fucking machine. He's literally already got the Shahira Ali video as like an edited video and sent me the collab link. It just finished. What? I mean, yeah, okay. Fucking hell, man. It works quick. Anyway. What was I doing? Oh yeah, Twitch. Who's going on Twitch? We haven't been over to James from the internet. I'll go over to James from the internet. Because he's a good person. And that. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. I might do PMQs tomorrow. Or I might do question time if it's on, but I don't know. Maybe. It's not election day. No, that's next week, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll see you tomorrow, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I do like doing that show. And Free Palestine. No Passaran.
Or Homelander, sorry.